So Australia hadn't met its annual operating plan and was making a loss, and it had been for 5 years. One of the challenges that we had in the business when I've been here is it's just credibility. So we had a constant scenario where we would say, here's what we want to do, here's our plan, but then every quarter, because we're a US company, every quarter we have to restate where we think we're going to be. But every quarter we'd be saying, oh, well, I know we said we'd be there, but now we're going to be here and it's less. And we never had a situation where we were predictable, or even where we were providing, upside on what we'd originally said. So that is really difficult when you're in that situation. We're in 3 different business units. We have home care, long-term care, and mobility and seating. And they're all very different. You can't have one person do all 3. It just doesn't work. And that's what we tended to have. And strategically, it was really difficult for me and my team to really articulate what it was that we stood for, or what it was that we wanted to do. We didn't have any measures. We didn't have any metrics. We weren't collecting things like DIFOT, delivery in full on time. We weren't measuring our forecast accuracy. We weren't even doing forecasts. There wasn't an S&OP process. There was really not much going on other than receiving orders and sending them out. Sometimes, on time and sometimes in full. What I also found, and it's not meant to be disrespectful to anyone that has worked for us, but we didn't really have the competence there, the capability there, because the industry is very cottagey. It really doesn't have the structures and so forth of a multinational or of a developed FMCG or even a medical devices company. So you find that you don't have people that understand necessarily the core aspects of sales and marketing, because they haven't needed to. Most of our sales team, they wouldn't be able to tell you what they did today at the time, because they just were going out there and they were doing the job. And I guess in the main, they were getting their numbers, so no one ever said, well, how do you go about it? But it became very obvious that we didn't have a proper sales planning process, and we didn't have a proper sales call process. There wasn't a consistent way of talking to customers. There wasn't a consistent way of planning. In fact, most of our sales team didn't plan at all. We didn't have a marketing calendar. I mean, these are things that are really basic, simple stuff. Like, who doesn't have a marketing calendar? It's astounding, but we didn't. I just found that I wasn't able to dedicate sufficient time to it. So you need someone from outside to come in and do it. Now, I haven't had good experiences with the big consulting companies, well, I won't say them all, but I haven't personally had good experience with them. I think I went to a presentation that you guys were doing, and you talked about the sales process and so forth, and it really resonated very well with what we needed, because they're big numbers. I mean, we're talking about doubling our business. That's the sort of opportunity that was there, if not triple the business. Or you worry that you can do that. You worry about how long it'll take to do as well. So I was never concerned about the process working. I was concerned about when it would work and would it deliver, the ultimate financial promise that was kind of, articulated. But with RPM, I felt as though they tried to understand the business. We had a partnership there, and and we had expertise there that was like on the ground, and people were still working in it and living it, so it was relevant. So I'd say they are the reasons.